Well, good morning. Dave Langsather with violinresearch.com. Today I'd like to demonstrate an overtone analysis of a violin. This is going to determine if these overtone frequencies are correct, and if they're all correct, then you'll know your plate's tuned right. And the important ones, of course, in line with the center notch should be the center of the bridge. That should be a low mode. And where the sound post is, that should be, you call it, instead of a modal line, it would be an anti-modal line, or the most active or highest frequency overtone, right where the sound post comes down. So to do this, the donation violin, someone donated that to me. It's together. So first thing we're going to do is just put this is some blue tape from like Home Depot. And I think they make a tape that is even less sticky than this is, but we're just going to put this on gently. And we'll put a tab so I can take it off easy. Okay. And so use the least pressure you can because you don't want to disturb the varnish. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to identify these overtone areas. And basically, as we tap down, we'll find about this area, there's a high overtone about here. And then there's a modal line that comes about like this, like the mode 5 modal line they call it. So this area is quiet, and this part's vibrating, and that part's vibrating at a certain frequency. So here will be a quiet area. And then right between these sound holes, there'll be a high pitch, and there'll be a high pitch about there. And in the middle, right in line with the bridge, there should be a very low overtone. And as we go up, there'll be another mode 5 overtone here, so it's real quiet. And then up here will be high-pitched overtone right about there. Okay, so let's just do it. I'll just let you listen as we tap down, and then we'll go back and isolate them. Okay, so now we'll just isolate them here. We'll just mark the line on the tape. Put the line there. So I'm going to use a straight across mark, meaning high pitch. In this area, and I'll lose a hash mark as a low-pitched modal tone. This area, this isn't going to vibrate, and this is a very resonant area. Okay, that's that area in line with the end of the sound hole. And this is the most important one. This needs to be right in the middle of the bridge. Call it the mode 5 line. Usually I expect to be a little higher. Yeah, move it up here. And just, not that I make any mistakes, but that's what liquid paper is for. Right. Okay, so this looks good. That's look promising, and this seems a little high. It seems like that should be about here. Anyway, so now we're going to do, we're going to use my, it's kind of a tapered bass bar with a sounding plate made out of violin spruce. And all we're going to do is listen to the tap tone. And this is the key. You don't want to talk to yourself, okay? Just have to hear it. Just let your mind absorb it. Okay, now on the reference tool, the way we figure out what that is, we can start at a low pitch. It's narrow here. It's tall there. And this has been calibrated. You can see this on violinresearch.com. Click in the middle button and then look for useful tools and click on that, and you'll find plans, description, and the calibration reference if you want to do that. So here we go. And actually, I think we're going to do this a little different, because this should be the high pitch, that should be lower, next, next, and this will actually be 1, 2, 3, and this will be the lowest. So I'm going to start up here. That would kind of work our way down. Now the way this works, if you just let your ears just listen, as we go along here, I'm dropping, catching, dropping, catching, dropping, catching, dropping, catching. See? Finger comes off, catch. So it just sounds like you're going on even. Up, down the stairs, and it transitions right here, which is 252. So I'm going to write that on here. Okay, and we're going to go here to this bottom one. Okay. So you're listening one taps above and then below, and so you know you got it pretty much isolated. So that's about we'll call it 244. Okay, now we're going to take this high pitch in the bottom end here. Goes up, down, so you come down the step, then it goes level on you. So we can compare that to the scale. So that's about 235, we'll say. 35. Okay. 1, 2, 3. All right. So these sound all to be the same, basically. So let's say these are all 235. And I'd expect these three to be the same, but not this one. I'd expect. Good morning, Dave Langsather for violinresearch.com, and just talking today about the overtone points on a violin plate, and this is the top plate. And the video you'll see that we've done recently here, we marked where these frequencies were, the kind of high, low, high, low, high, low, Hi. So these are the frequencies that we recorded: 252, 44, 235, the low one 225, so on. These three all the same, which is what I'd expect. This being the lowest, expect that. And normally, though, this would be this one would be here. So the plate you can hear is very uneven. But the best news was that this low frequency is almost in the notch. We want that to be exactly right on the notch, so it's shifted a little bit. And this should be 198 hertz. It's 225, so this is what you really want on your top plate when you tap here. You don't want this to be here. You want it to be here. So, but that's probably not untypical for a lot of violins, and this one looks like it wasn't the highest in fiddle to start with. So the back plate, we went ahead and recorded the frequencies. Same thing, high, low. In the back plate there's no sound hole, so this is the highest pitch, and that's where we want the sound post to be. And then low, or in the nodal line for mode 5 nodal line. And then this high pitch at the top. So these frequencies are research-based, just what we want: 287, 253, 242, same as the back plate, 227, same as the ribs or side, and then this 306. And these are all on the nature scale, tap tone scale. These are the frequencies that our mind and our ears respond best to. So these are all the correct frequencies, and to start with, this is where the high frequency nodal line was here, and we want it to be there, and it ended up there's a little bit of material here that was high pitched, so I just scraped that down with a trusty scraper to make it even tone. And as soon as we did that, that changed the high frequency line to here, which is what we want. And we checked it. This is our template. So we go to the top of the plate, mark where the inner notch is on your sound hole, and add 0.328 inches onto the bottom, which is 21/64, which would be the sound of the center of the sound post. Same thing here. Go to the top of the plate, and you'll see that's exactly where you want the sound post to go. So just that one change will make a huge difference in the way this violin performs. Okay, that's pretty much. I just wanted to add this a little bit on the end here. And this plate is so, frequencies are so off. You could just strip it, you know, and maybe you'd have to take the top plate off to regraduate it in such a way to make these, but it could possibly be done from the outside too. It doesn't take much material removed to straighten out the frequencies. So that